We are live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Four Horsemen podcast. I'd like to welcome the panel. Y'all know him, y'all love him. The Livingston Man, the Roaming Prepper, Vision Preparedness, the Four Horsemen, and Katrinka LOL. Hello, good evening, and thank you so much for these absolutely fabulous gifts. The Four Horsemen. For real, they're right here. You have them, the dark horse, the white horse, the red horse, and the pale horse. They're all on display this evening, and two of these will be getting shipped to their new rightful owners. Katrinka LOL, thank you so very much for the amazing gift. We really, really appreciate it. Livingston Man.
How about that camera work, though? Huh?
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you.
Cam, how did you do it?
Oh my God! Look at them go! Look at them go! But welcome,
AI, bro.
Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us, Livingston Man. Could you roll that new, beautiful beam footage?
Off you go.
Apocalypse now, four horsemen riding dirty. Death on the left, keep the Glock sturdy. Famine in the kitchen, hunger like a beast. War paint ready, unleash the inner beast. Pestilence drop, spread fear in the streets. Disease hit the block, no doc can defeat. Horseman information, skies turning black. Future looking bleak, no turning back. Four horsemen riding on the edge of night. Chaos in the wake, no end in sight. Four horsemen bringing dark to the light. Want to get ready for the fright. Death smirking, souls counting in the tally. Coffins on standby, final ride in the alley. War ain't a game, got the war drum stumping. Battalion on the move, always be something. Famine hit the block, food vanish in the mist. Empty pots, empty bellies, can't even twist. Pestilence lingering, bodies hit the floor. Disease knocking at the door, can't ignore. Four horsemen riding on the edge of night. Chaos in the wake, no end in sight. Four horsemen bringing dark to the light. 8 days marching, get ready for the fright.
Boom.
Rest in peace, headphone users.
Very good.
There it be. So good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. There was no firearms in that intro, so YouTube can suck it. Thank everybody for joining us tonight. I know why everybody is here. Y'all want to hear from the Four Horsemen. I have some questions lined up for everybody this evening, and nobody has any foreknowledge of my questions. Is that correct, gentlemen?
That is correct.
That is correct.
All right. So we're going to get started tonight with the very first question for the Four Horsemen. Livingston Man, you pick who goes first. How about that one?
All right, let's do some like divination here. I'm gonna drop this lighter on the desk, and whichever horse it's sort of pointing at, that's who's gonna go.
Okay.
Of course, it's right up the middle.
I'm gonna say it's leaning more towards the white horse, which is Vision Preparedness. So you are going to field this question first this evening. Beyond the typical bug out bag and long-term food storage, what are some of the most overlooked and underestimated aspects of preparedness that people and families should prioritize in today's rapidly changing world? Vision Preparedness, go.
Wow. First time.
That was a lot.
That was a lot. So I'll say this. Water replenishment. How are you going to source and replenish your water supply as well as your preps? Food. How are you going to replenish food? And I talked about this on my live stream earlier, because you have your sanctity during SHTF. What if it grows in numbers, meaning you have other people that are coming that are deemed allowed to be there and not get tossed in a semi truck that goes north with an 80-20 blend. And so how are you going to prepare for that? How do you replenish water? How do you replenish food? So that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
The well said, Trent. Replenishment of supplies should be top of everybody's priority list. I agree wholeheartedly. Ray Smith, yes, water is a good one. Essential for life. We can go 3 weeks without eating before we're going to perish from it. We're going to be pretty shaky after a couple days. But in reality, man, you're not making it more than a day without water, and especially not if you're strained in any way or doing you're bugging out, right? So you're on the go, you're doing all these things. So reprocurement of supplies is Vision's answer. The roaming prepper, your thoughts, my friend. What beyond the traditional bug out bag and long-term food storage, what are some of the most overlooked or underestimated aspects of preparedness that individuals and families should prioritize in today's rapidly changing world?
Well, first, I agree with everything Trent mentioned. Something else people don't think about is tools with which to do tasks. And I say this from experience after hurricanes, one in Louisiana when we lived there in particular. It took fences down. It put stuff through people's windows. It was a hot mess. And not having adequate hand tools to even prepare to board up your windows, much less to repair that which was damaged, can cause a problem, especially if, again, in that humid environment down south on the coast, you now have a broken window now, or a broken door. Mosquitoes can get in, rattlesnakes can get in. You now invite other pests and problems, not just human problems like nature. Being able to make those repairs to your vehicle, repair your bike, fix your firearm. And it's something I've actually seen people get caught flat-footed with, where they're like, "Oh, I don't have tools. I can't fix this. I can't fix my car or make a repair." So something folks need to think about as well.
Ghost, I agree. And I think, from what Ghost's comment, and I agree wholeheartedly, the roaming prepper, tools to spin society back up, right? I mean, if there's still water in the pipes outside, you just have to be able to access it, right? Yeah. So being able to have the knowledge, one, and then the tools to back up that knowledge are huge. But I think my Skydive put up the comment that said a multi-tool, right? Multi-tools are fantastic because they do many jobs at once. And I think that's the kind of, I hate to say it, because I think all-in-one things typically tend to suck at everything that they do, but they do it kind of okay. Right. So you get, that 45-in-1 tool, and it kind of shitty to pull nails with a crummy hammer, but it's got a little bit of everything.
Better than nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I don't own a multi. I have also a U-Haul full of shit tools. I got tools, bro. Because I run across everything. I work on a farm. Who knows what the hell you're gonna have to do? But interestingly enough, I don't carry a multi-tool. Maybe it's just because I don't have to, but it's just something I wouldn't reach for given my more extensive collection. But yes, having something like that, three things if you just want to go super light EDC, a flashlight, a small little flashlight, a Leatherman multi-tool, and a quality folding pocket knife. You're in a better place than so many other people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The first thing I like to say this: I'm not the first person to ever carried a flashlight in their pocket before. On my job site, I was, and I like to say this because it actually happened. Is the first thing they asked me was, "Why you carry a flashlight?" Second thing they asked me was, "Can I use your flashlight?"
Right.
It's true. It's true. I tend to lean towards the rechargeable flashlights myself. I really like the O lights and things like that. Anything that I can just snap something on and recharge. The O lights have done me solid. You know, a lot of people give them flack because I think O lights do have like a confirmed kill on them.
They do.
Yeah.
But they are incredibly bright flashlights, extremely versatile. I've had them for years. I beat the absolute snot out of them, and they continue to work to this day. So
And you can find some gems if you look around. I bought these two. Oh, what were they called? Hitachi flashlight, little Japanese flashlights. They were 2 for $10, and I just needed a pocket light. I've washed one of those things at least 5 times before I killed it. And I mean, it came apart, and I'm like, oh, this is dead. And then I reassembled it just out of morbid curiosity, and it worked. And I was like, oh. And then I washed it again like 2 weeks later because I forgot it was in my pocket. But, you know, $10, it lasted me a year, and I washed it 4 times like an idiot. I mean, that's pretty good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I actually have a flashlight story. At my bug out weekends, my son was attending, and he was much, much younger. I think he was like 8 or 9 at the time. And he had his hat on, and he had his headlight on top of his hat, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're hanging around the campfire, and a moth comes flying by him, right? Big moth comes flying by me, picks his hat, swats at the moth, puts his hat back on his head, doesn't think nothing of it. And my friend looks down at the fire, and she's like, "Hey, it looks just like a headlamp in the fire." And it bursts into flames, right?
With
So
a
they
battery.
reach 2 sticks, and they grab this flaming headlamp, and they pull it out, throw it on the ground. I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Dave, that was your headlight." He's like, "Oh, wow, sorry, Dad." I'm like, "All right, well, we better get it cooled down before these AA batteries explode, you know." So I got the thing like in the mud, and I'm dumping bottles of water on it, you know, trying to cool it down. I'm stomping it into the mud, and I'm like, "Oh, if I bury it a little bit, it won't explode." And I put a big, rock off the fire on top of it, just in case it goes, you know, it's going to blow down into the mud. And that's it. We're done. I said, "Sorry, dude. You have to use a regular old pocket flashlight." I hand him my little flashlight. "Here you go. That you can find your way back to your campsite with that." And next morning, we go out to the fire, and it's pre-dawn, you know, almost time to get the fire going. And there's this weird glow next to the fire. I'm like, "What the heck is that?" It's this melted Energizer headlamp on, face down in the mud. The rock turned it on. When I put the rock on top of it, the pressure must have hit the on switch, and it's melted and disformed and falling apart. But 3 AAA batteries, Energizer headlamps, you can melt them in a campfire and they'll still work. Dump water on them, smash them into the mud. They still work.
You know, I can attest to the build quality of these things because I have a parallel story that happened years before I even knew you.
Okay.
It was the same as like Walmart Rayovac Energizer. Like it ran off a single AAA, which is why I liked it. It was super small, lightweight, just enough when you're fucking around camp. But the switch on it was all messed up and it like wouldn't work right. It was supposed to do all kinds of stuff. There were 3 levels of white, and I think it had red, green, and blue.
Cool.
Awesome on a single AAA battery. This thing was tiny. It was awesome, and it wouldn't work right. And I ended up getting pissed, and I like took it off my head and I threw it in the fire, and fucked off and walked away about it. And then the next morning, there it was, and it worked perfectly after I like threw it in the fire. Like,
needed to be baptized in fire.
You got to activate the Chinesium with the high temperature.
Chinesium.
So Livingston, man, the beyond the traditional bug out bag, long-term food storage, what are some of the most overlooked, underestimated aspects of preparedness that individuals and families should prioritize in today's rapidly changing world?
I'm glad you let us beat around the bush a little bit, because I had prepare myself, because the homies brought 2 killer points that I also wholeheartedly agree with. Like, I would have said either one of those possibly.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I'm going to expand on what both chiefs said here.
Okay.
Excuse me. I was breathing straight up dirt all day. So Trent mentioned the ability to replenish what you have, because otherwise you're on just a ticking clock.
Absolutely.
And what Pete said, if some even just basic tools to get you by day to day, or if you're in the position to be so, one of the people that can actually step forward and rebuild society. See how much hotter your mic is than mine? See how much different that sounds now? Yeah. He has a really loud voice, and yet he insists I turn his mic all the way the fuck up. So on top of that, now we're talking about bugging out and stuff like this. The thing you should not neglect in your life is your vehicle. Now, the time is now, as my brother Trent would say, to maybe learn how to take care of it yourself. It starts small and stuff, but familiarize yourself. And I often point to this on my own channel and in the reels I make for Facebook, is that when society collapses, like codes and building permits and all this stuff's out the window. The better you can familiarize yourself with the way things are done and how they're done and the tools to do them now, the better you'll be. Like because SHTF, ain't nobody coming to fix that pipe that burst. Ain't nobody coming to stop the sparks flying out the circuit panel. And it's your house. You should know how to do things like turn off the water, turn off the power, maintain its systems, but also your vehicle. If you're a bug out type and you think you're going to hit the roads, I hope you got your oil change, got tires. That's a big one. And I hate to be like this, but if you don't know how to change a tire, I promise you got to learn how to do it. I had to change a tire today. It annoyed me because like the jacks and the tools the vehicles come with, yeah, it's got one. That's junk, dude. And I was like, and you're confusing to boot. Like if I wasn't, I'm not the smartest fucking person on the planet, but I feel like I had to put way too much mental energy into figuring out how this concoction is supposed to lift the vehicle off the ground and not kill me in the process. Vehicles, you should have in your vehicle not only like a bug out kit and like a first aid kit and stuff you would normally have, but some tools to maintain the vehicle. My mother always had a 50 caliber ammo can. And it had the ratchets, sockets, wrenches, and the stuff you would need if you had to like do something to the car to keep it moving. Also, now I'm out here, 21st century digital boy. I'm like, for the price of these vehicles, they should come with a fucking impact gun that's got the sockets to take the tire off and a real jack, a floor jack. You know what I mean? But whatever your situation is, don't count out your vehicle, because again, if it's another system in your plan, if your vehicle stuff, we bugging out, we head north. Yeah, the fuck you are. You threw a rod on Interstate 90. What are you gonna do now? My tire fucking blew up. Did you inflate the spare properly? Well, no. Do you have an inflator? Well, no. Wow. Hopefully some good Samaritan comes along and pumps your tire up, man. I got a 20 volt DeWalt inflator. It can do 160 PSI, runs off a battery. I can recharge with a solar panel. All right. This is the place you got to get yourself, man. Full spectrum.
Now you're talking, Livingston, man. Now you're talking. That's
Like
yeah, can you turn it down?
I'm trying to help you out here, buddy.
Please, please, yeah. Thank you. Wow.
Can you guys still hear? I can't hear the Livingston, man.
Holy cow. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, man. Being able, your vehicle is your means to your next domicile. And I want to level with folks, man. Bugging out is not running to the woods. That little tarp and that little tent and everything you carry is for emergency situations only. You're bugging out from 4 walls and a roof to 4 walls and a roof. You have to have a place to go. Otherwise, you are a refugee on the road with a backpack on. Your vehicle is what's going to get you there. Make sure it's properly maintained. I agree, Livingston, man. The 50 caliber ammo can in the trunk of the car with the sockets that fit everything and the tools to be able to change a belt, swap out an alternator, maybe do a water pump or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of just EDC stuff. You know, a flathead screwdriver, some various sockets, wrenches, and a ratchet and stuff, and you know, a little bit of like, well, I hope this works. Listen, nobody taught me how to do nothing, man. It's like, well, if it doesn't work, what am I going to do? Kill it worse? It's like when you're doing CPR. The thing is dead. I might fucking see if I can make it work again.
Bring it back.
Oh man. Well, yeah. I think those are all fabulous points and out of the box things that people should think about. Aside from the norm, right? The bug out bag. The bug out bag is really just to carry some clothes, some medications, maybe some water purification, things like that. A small shelter, right? Because we know we're not making it that far. Thank you, Livingston Man. Without shelter, that's one of the most overlooked things, I think, in preparedness is shelter. In all honesty,
you only get 3 hours without it. With that one,
yeah, harsh weather conditions. You're looking 3 hours, and you're in trouble. In the wrong weather conditions, right? Even on a day like today, 92 degrees. We had a thunderstorm roll through earlier. The temperature dropped from 91 to 68 in a matter of about 25 minutes.
Yep.
So that can put your body into shock if you're soaking wet and that temperature drops like that. You could be in trouble really quick. That's where you fall into that you needed shelter thing, right?
So that you bring up a good point, Mike. So, you know, everyone knows Yellowstone, right? Yellowstone National Park. Big Bend is here on the border with Mexico. It's, I think, the second or third biggest. It is the second most likely to kill people after the Yellowstone National Park in the mountains is this place. It's a canyon. Think of the Grand Canyon, that kind of canyon wall with a river, and there's no cell connection. People go out there not realizing, oh, it's spring, it rains an hour away, well, the water goes downhill. And if you're in the canyon, that water is going to come to you and it's going to come fast. You need to know either how to get out or how to swim really good. But the temperature can drop in those canyons. You know, you could go from 98 to 50 at night in this desert, and you can very quickly get in trouble like that. I mean, that's an understatement, what you just said, man. 100%.
Hypothermia will set in quick.
When Yardbirds posted, you get soaked in a rainstorm, you're in trouble in 10 minutes. The coldest I ever been, I had to go home. I was younger, out on like a job. I was weed eating on a big old farm property. It was hot. It was like 90 degrees. Thunderstorm came through, soaking, you know, big fat rain, drops, monsoon shit, you know. And I was standing absolutely drenched, completely soaking wet, and I was shaking, shivering, chattering my teeth, lips blue, as it went by. That my day was over with. I was done. I was out there, got soaked out, and had no shelter. And I mean, I was on a job site. I was okay, but even just for the day, I was done. I had at best had to go all the way home and change my clothes and get warm again.
Yeah.
You know,
but that happens to you in the mountains.
Yep.
You're in trouble.
Absolutely. Your bug out bag should contain something like a poncho.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
I'm not there
shelter that you wear.
I'm using the weed eater. I don't have like a 30-pound bug out bag.
Right. No, I totally get it.
But
in your bug out bag, you should have something like a poncho to be able to cover yourself. Even if it's one of those emergency ones you get from like Dick's Sporting Goods, you can find them there. You take them to the stadium, little tiny, they're like little clear garbage bags. It doesn't matter as long as you're dry, and that's what matters the most.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, knowing what I know now, being a much older gentleman with, you know, distinguished salt and pepper gray hair, like ruggedly handsome. I simply would have sought shelter when it started to rain instead of being a fucking hammerhead and I'm gonna do hard work for the boss. You know, I'm surely I'll get a promotion. They'll put me in the will. Fuck it. That happened.
Well,
yeah.
So shelter is my my underrated prep, and so moving on. We are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and Roaming Prepper, I'm going to give you this one first. Which one of the four horsemen do you think poses the most immediate and likely threat to global stability?
Shoot. Well, we all know death comes after everyone else. So it's going to be one of the other three for sure. You know, you're tempted to say war, right? Because you look at Ukraine, you look at Israel, you look at the instability. But if you dig deeper, you look at the root causes of a lot of these wars. It's a lack of resource. So it's going to be the illness or the plague slash pestilence type of situation. It's what comes beforehand. You know, Rwanda and Congo have been in a war for a year. I didn't even know that. And I talk about them, you know, these little countries.
Yeah.
And the UN just brokered a peace deal. They've killed about 10,000 people down there over, guess what, river rights. And they finally negotiated a truce. And, you know, they're working on like plants and whatnot. I honestly think Ukraine, Russia they're fighting over something more than just, oh, NATO is next door, that offends us.
Yeah.
They're fighting over lithium, oil. Ukraine has prolific natural gas. But again, during COVID, we had a lot of instability. This illness came through and screwed up everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I could easily see it. War is going to follow one of the other two horses with death after war.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? That's kind of a toss-up. It could be, you know, the plague pestilence kind of thing. It could be a famine, but I think those would be the first ones, and then that will trigger the people, the stress of the governments to then tip over into conflict.
Yeah. Fire up that war machine, right? That's what pays the bills in government.
Right.
So Vision, what are your thoughts? What do you think? Who is the most likely horseman to be the biggest threat to global stability?
I say famine. Because food is life, and then pestilence comes right behind famine.
Yeah.
Because now folks are eating out of the garbage cans and they're getting sick and they're, you know, touching the cats and scratching their butts and washing in dirty water. So, yeah, but famine first, because it's a resource that is either going to be hoarded, controlled, or completely annihilated. So I say famine, then pestilence.
Great point.
Then war. And then, of course, last but not least, now we got to find the diesel fuel for the fleet of trucks going north because of death.
At least we have a plan to rebuild, don't we?
Yes, we do. We got a plan to rebuild. Yes.
True story. So Livingston, man, what are your thoughts? Which horseman do you think is most likely to cause the biggest threat to global stability?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the panel for confirming my unique place as, you know, the fucking janitor. But I've been busy, man. Don't mind me. I got jet lag. Johnny Cash said he'd been everywhere. He ain't been where I've been, man. I've been in Gaza a lot. The place is a fucking shithole. That ain't some dream assignment. And like, oh, you must be eating good. I'm like, yeah, sure. It's not good eating. You think it's fun being death? You think I'm like this mythical creature that gets to just walk around and wave his fucking scythe and take your hand, lead you across the river Styx? No. I'm like Anthony Bourdain up on some third world hellhole shit. I gotta hang out.
Anthony Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain.
I'll have it good. All right. These gentlemen, they lay them down for me. I gotta go like just throw them over my shoulder and carry them away. I'm like just a bona fide gravedigger, a fucking hunchback. All right.
You're death traffic control, man. You're just like these souls here, these souls there.
Sure.
JD,
to the underworld and you to
So,
Shiboba. You know?
if you're wondering what he's talking about, Livingston Man has been coined as the death horse of the four horsemen.
Just a vulture.
He is death. Vision preparedness is pestilence. The roaming prepper is the war horse, and I am your friend Famine.
Your friend Famine.
You both again. Everybody made excellent points. I think that well, actually, I was going to say pestilence, because if we're talking about it in a sort of a sickness washing o'er the land thing, we saw what that was capable of doing when the fear was allowed to penetrate, and you were made to believe it was real, and whatever that was, man, like the world did what it did, and anybody that lived through it is never going to forget what the world did when that shit happened. With the proper marketing, that could easily be done again.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
and you know what's sad is
And
a
again,
lot of
it's
people forget.
It's always with that shit from Harry Potter. Whenever there's some shit going down, it's always you three.
Miss McGonagall, and always you three, and they were kids
Yeah.
were like, Hogwarts is on fire, and those three are in the ashes. You know?
I'm just here with the mop, like Jesus Christ, kids, crazy kids.
So I
it's
put
gonna
in the
be
chat.
it's going to be some version of all three. It's just really and at the end of the day, the order doesn't matter. I'm showing up. Now you got issues, but
It's true.
That's right. Exactly.
Often on a Wednesday.
So I looked it up just to,
Oh, here we go.
and biblically speaking, they had pestilence, war, famine, and death, which
Yep.
would make sense because if you have the disease, right, people freak out, and now we have wars everywhere. Which, think about it, everything started with the Rona.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Although the war and the famine kind of happened one after the other, but
Yeah, they tend to go in and blow up all the farmland, and then there's no place to plant the crops, and all the people who would do so are either fighting in the army or dead. So that doesn't happen.
somebody's got to guard those poppy fields.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
Somebody's got to do it.
That's true.
I'm
Right,
from
the
one
poppy
square,
fields.
so I say kill them all.
Old Mick Monty says, I distinctly remember in 2020 they predicted something. There we go. Predicted something worse in 2025. And hey, listen, we're just kicking July off here, so
Who? What?
we've got plenty of time left in 2025.
I don't have time for that
to,
shit. Who said who and
to
what?
see.
Then
Yeah. No, there was a lot of chatter about 2025. Back then.
Well, they said they distinctly remember. I would like to be more distinct. What's going to happen? Who is
Old
the-
Mick Monty, you got to
for
let the
sure.
Livingston know. You got to let him know.
Don't make Detective Malone come into the chat, okay? I got questions. I'm a detective. You got answers. I got questions.
That's
And
right.
That makes
Lots-
us a
lots
great
of
team,
questions.
doesn't it, Rook?
I personally, I think war is coming first. I do.
It's the easiest one to go to. Pete's always
Yeah.
first on scene. Like first. That's why he's got the red headphones on. He's like, I'm like a.
He's ready. He's ready.
People need killing. I can make that
Old
shit happen.
Mick Monty says a worse illness. Thank you for clarification, Old Mick Monty. Appreciate it. So Livingston Man, they said a worse illness in
Homie-
2025.
Homie Bill Gates was talking that shit. They won't be laughing at the second we I said, I am.
Mhm.
I'm laughing right now, homeboy. You know who I am? You don't know who I am.
Yeah, I
He does. He knows intimately who I am. He's
Hey,
like, I'm
listen,
in your
man, that-
computer.
the
bro.
whole pandemic thing really hit me in the wrong feels button,
Yep.
like all over the place.
I lost a lot of faith in humanity, bro.
Yeah, there was a lot of lies spread.
Yep.
Basically,
Yeah.
everything was a lie.
It made my job of eating your dead corpses so much easier. It really did.
Oh yeah. We
I
were
was like,
working.
you know what? Because I started to think of my fellow humans as not
well, I think what bothered me the
in the
most.
store that I hate.
So they have a near where the book depository is, where Lee Harvey Oswald shot JFK from. It's in
Allegedly.
Dallas, and about 2 blocks
JFK
away.
fucking shot first, and I won't hear otherwise. Lee Harvey Oswald was defending himself, and he has the right to. in the state of Texas. Does he not?
2 blocks away, they have the Holocaust Museum, right? And this is something like you take half a day to do. And I actually had half a day, and it took me hours to go through it. And one of the things they talked about a lot in all these things, in the massacres in Africa and Mao and Russia, all these horrendous shit we've done to each other, is collaborators. How people will, and not even out of fear, out of being convinced they're morally better, will pass judgment on others and then start outing it. And to Livingston's point, that's exactly what we saw during the Rona. You should be fired. I'm going to call your boss and get you fired because you didn't do whatever I thought you should do.
Exactly.
It's 1984, and East German Stasi denouncing.
Mhm.
You hear this in history a lot. They denounced their neighbors. It's the shit that got Anne Frank busted. Somebody was like, you know what, I just play by the rules, and playing by the rules always leads to the worst stories in history. Wouldn't you know it?
Yeah. Just doing what you were told. So, gentlemen, I set a goal this evening of 5 super chats, and I let everybody know that if we reach the 5 super chat goal this evening, that I would start a rapid fire question segment here.
It was like West Point interrogation.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna
do me first, so I'm gonna follow up the greatness every fucking time. I held my own like twice.
Okay. Well,
it's going to go July week. Our brains are off.
It should go pretty quick. I'm looking for I'm going to ask you a question of this or that.
Top of
okay,
head
this or that. Yeah, top of your head. This or that. Livingston man, tent or tarp?
Tarp.
Okay. Roaming prepper. Folding knife or fixed blade?
Fixed blade. Unless I'm jogging.
Okay. Vision preparedness. Handgun or long gun?
Doesn't matter.
Aha. Any gun will do.
He didn't answer fast enough.
Wait, he did the X. You have to do the big red X on us.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
Hilarious, Steve.
I've been waiting to use the buzzer.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Let's see. Livingston man. Pot or cup?
All right, I thought you were talking about something different real quick.
No. Sorry. Cup.
Yep.
Cup. Okay. The roaming prepper. Rucksack or knapsack?
I'd have to say rucksack. I don't even know what knapsacks look like.
Well, knapsack. I was just thinking smaller backpack or
like an assault pack.
Rucksack. Yeah.
12-hour, right? So,
yeah.
Actually, if it was like a 12, 24-hour bag, I'd probably go with the little one just because of what I do.
Yep. I agree. I'm backpack all day because rucksacks, I overdo it. All right, let's see.
It's got the cast iron in it.
All right, vision preparedness. Chemical cleaning of water or other purification methods? Chemical
Other purification methods.
Okay. Let's see. Roaming prepper, hammock or tent?
Oh, tent.
Livingston man, same question.
Tent.
Vision, we don't even have to ask you. He won't even get in a hammock. We know his answer is tent.
I feel I feel like vulnerable enough in a tent. You're like, oh my god, what the fuck was that? What's out there?
Right.
No,
hammock. Now you just hang. You're looking like some fucking bang burrito.
You aren't on the ground. Nothing.
Pending the hammock, you have 360-degree view all the way around you. Just saying.
Yeah, till Jason Voorhees ass come and just take that shit out the street.
Exactly.
Smack you up against
you can shoot in 300 directions from inside a tent.
I now become a Tootsie Roll rolled up in plastic.
Yeah. I mean, Livingston, you're surrounded. Good. I can shoot in every direction.
Well, I figure if I'm going to get eaten by a bear in the woods, I might as well be a bear-rito inside my little cocoon.
Not me.
right?
I'm fighting back.
I am too.
While I'm going down.
Either a handgun or a long gun.
Bong.
One or the other.
That's what Pete's fixed blade knife is for. You nail the jaw shut, they can't bite you. See how that works?
That's true.
Okay. All right. Let's see. More rapid fire questions. Oh my goodness! I put myself on the spot here.
Do this to yourself.
I did.
Keep them coming.
I did.
To yourself.
Let's do word association. Pete, I'm going to say a word. You're going to say the first single word that occurs to you.
Oh God.
All right. Chemical.
Biological.
Trent. Biological.
Death.
I thought you were telling me Trent. I was like, vision.
Mike. Biological.
Warfare.
It's funny because when I asked Pete, I was doing word association myself. And I was like, I wonder if Pete will say, when I said chemical, I was like, I wonder if he'll say warfare because that's what I thought. Substances. Yeah.
You took it full circle.
The other route you folks could take is that Walter White shit where you learn how to produce something that, take the edge off the apocalypse. You'll make a lot of money.
Yeah, a true story. But ruin your whole entire community in the process. So it's a toss up.
Well, but if you can make moonshine, like legit moonshine, and you trade it, that's a fuel.
And you could use it as a method of control. And you could you got them on the dole, bro. You're like, yeah, I just need you to go do that farm work. Get you a little hit of crack. That's fine. Yeah, well, go get me up some hay, bro.
I was like, you give them moonshine, they'll just pass out. They'll be useless then.
I feel like I could pull this off like today, like tomorrow. I could just be like, listen, I'm trading crack for work.
Have
and
you seen
crackheads? Nobody wants to work anymore.
Wait. We can put it in the food.
That we serve. We don't eat that ourselves, but it
sounds like Eric's got it right. It sounds like a Timothy Leary party.
Yeah, the food we
everybody
serve.
drink the food.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. I'm going to do I'm going to use the big pharma model. I don't want to kill my consumers, but I simply want to keep them perpetually aching for something that only I can give them.
Gotcha.
Now they do it. They do it.
Yeah, of course.
Why are you mad at me? Your booze don't mean anything to me. I seen what you cheer for.
Hey man, you can't Molotov meth. You can Molotov cocktail with.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Blue meal. That's what it's going to be called. The food we serve, blue meal.
Blue meal.
You were watching American Gangster, weren't you, Trent?
Blue meal. It's a perfectly good product. There's no need to do nothing to it. Blue meal.
As Denzel would say, my man.
We can make it pink.
Make it red.
It looks like meat.
Red.
You ever go in the grocery store and touch that Beyond Meat shit? Like I go in there and I poke it. And I'm like, ah! And I make noises like, ah! Mrs. Livingston's like, stop poking it. I'm like, ah! It's just so weird, man. Whatever that shit is, I don't know. Beyond Meat. I'm like, this is.
It's beyond me. That's for sure.
I don't even know what.
All right, gentlemen. So
don't ask too many questions.
Speaking of questions, I got another one for everybody here tonight. And we're going to go with you first on this one, Livingston man. For someone just starting their preparedness journey, feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information and potential scenarios, what is the single most impactful first step they can take? And what's one common mistake they should actively avoid?
Ooh.
All right. The first step you should make is actually and honestly evaluate your situation. It's not all it's cracked up to be, but there's a lot of nuance and it's so very, very personal. You have to actually tailor this to yourself. It's like a pair of pants you got to wear, man. Figure out what are your actual needs. I don't have any kids. Maybe you got 6 of them. I got cats though. Maybe you don't got cats. I'm not eating the cats there. And it's not the one. He's fat. Maybe the other ones, they just maybe I can make a hat out of them or something. But listen, I kind of just like them. Not eating fucking cats. Maybe you eat your fucking cats. I don't know. But this is what you got to do is sit there and honestly and effectively evaluate yourself. Are you going to have people showing up? You got family to take care of? You got elderly folks? Is there disabilities? Is there addictions to feed? Are there mouths to pay? Is there stuff that you need to get? It's so very personal. You have to honestly and deeply evaluate your situation. Don't go overboard. Just because you bought $1,000 worth of shit off of Amazon and you got a big haul, yeah, it looks great in a video, man. If you don't know how to fucking use it and you honestly don't have a need for half of it, you only played yourself. Don't worry about the trends. Don't worry about like, oh, this is hot, I got to get it. And I'm promise you I'm speaking from experience here. Get a kit together that is reliable, and this may take you a few purchases, sure, to find something that works for you, that you like, that is easy, that works with your style. How you gonna do it? Yes, you will get overwhelmed, and yes, the infinite scenarios that pop into your mind are, well, just that infinite. Push it aside. Your common tenets, the things you need to do, actually, there's really only one: stay alive, and you already did it this whole time. 2, you need just the same basic stuff you already have. You need clothes on your back, something to eat, something to drink, and something to put over you when it starts to rain. That's got to be your 4 basic tenets right there. And with training, means to save yours or someone else's life. After that, don't get caught up in the hype. Do you get a little put your chin up? You already been doing this the whole time. You know what you're fucking doing. You're going to make some mistakes along the way, whatever. You're going to waste some money along the way. But maybe you're just going to give that to somebody else because that fits their style, whatever. Like in the prepping community, you'll see that people will just give each other stuff, trade with each other stuff, knowledge, equipment, stuff like this. This don't work for me. Homie's like, yo, I need that. You're like, take that.
Yeah.
You know,
it happens a lot, actually.
If you're just starting out, yes, that's a big hill right in front of you. Just walk up it, man. Nobody said you got to run, and there is no really such thing as reaching the top of it.
No, it's a journey. It's a journey, not a destination. Number one. Yeah. I guess my follow up to that, Livingston Manor. What do you think? Some things that somebody new should avoid or look out for?
At this point, I would say like old school. The big thing is everybody gets themselves a backpack and a bug out bag. You know, affordable options exist, but like used to be back in my day, military surplus.
Yep, inexpensive and extremely durable.
Anymore, there really isn't a market for the good stuff because we bought it all.
Stories.
Well, and the suppliers know people want it, so they market.
But now the market is make sure if you're into that line of stuff. I'm going to go a little specific here. Is that you have to do a lot of research to make sure that the product you're getting is actually what you like. I was a big stickler for USGI stuff. I wanted the shit that said like US on it. I want it like is stolen off a base and sold through nefarious means off the internet. Like I got some good stuff that way. That market doesn't really exist anymore. So what you see is a lot of stuff that's branded as such that isn't.
Okay.
It's not going to fit you. It's not going to perform to the level that you're expecting. It's Chinese. It's junk. It's not. It looks like it, but it ain't it. Imitation shit. Yeah. Same way the fashion world has to deal with counterfeit.
The surplus world has the same thing.
Right.
Okay.
I would, if you're going to go the military surplus route and bet your life on it, now you're a LARPer or a reenactor or something. I don't know. Who cares? Then fine. Dress the part. If you're going to put your life on the line for this, you're going to, or you're going to say like I always did. But my thing was, if it's good enough for soldiers in the field, it's good enough for me to go camping with the bros and live in the woods and just do the thing. But if you're going to do that today, make sure that you know what you're looking at and know what you're getting.
Good advice. Good advice. Vision preparedness. Your advice to somebody just starting out in their preparedness journey, feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information and potential scenarios, what's the single most impactful first step they can take? And what's one common mistake they should actively avoid?
Good God.
I know. Sorry. So let's just start with one. What's one?
Here we go. I got you. Because, as Yardbird said, I got a wide path and narrow it down.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, focus on you and your family. Forget the people that say, buy my gear from my website or you're going to die. Focus on the things that's going to keep you alive, like water, food, shelter, security, and go from there.
Yeah.
The one thing you don't need to do is panic buy. Shop where you shop. Get what you get. Stay, as the roaming prepper consistently says, stay on your budget.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't care if you have to shop at the Dollar Tree. Get what you can for your family. The only thing we can do is our best.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. They filed Chapter 13 and they ain't got nothing in their basement and their dog's already dead.
They repossessed in the mountain house, bro. Look at them. They put it on a truck.
Right. So that's my thing. That's all I got.
Awesome. The roaming prepper, your thoughts, sir.
So, and I brought this up in the book, is understanding what your threats are, what is most likely to happen to you. And in the business world, some of you may have heard this phrase, the SWOT analysis, SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And basically what you're doing, a company takes a look at themselves and then the competition and the market and says, okay, this is what we think is going to happen. You can do something the same way. You literally can draw it on a piece of paper and go, okay, a nuclear bomb going off would be absolutely, like, from a 1 to 5 would be 5. It would be catastrophic. The chances of it happening, like, New York, maybe more than like West Texas or, little corner of Ohio or New York. So that might be a 1 probability. But down here, tornadoes happen every few months. That would be higher. So it's more like, and when you start putting them, like just writing them down, what's most likely and which are most horrible from 1 to 5, you start seeing, like, you live on the coast, like in Louisiana, where hurricanes every year a hurricane's going to show up and they can get bad. So that's going to be like a really high priority to you. Whereas, zombies showing up is probably going to be on the other side of the chart. Just having an idea of what will happen most likely in your area and prepare for that. And like the other gentleman said, if you have the basics, the food, the water, appropriate clothing, not just a poncho, which was mentioned a few times, good work boots, work gloves, PPE, like safety glasses, even a hard hat if you have debris coming down. You have those basics, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You get the hard hat 1 month, you get a backpack on sale at, wherever, Walmart. Anything is better than nothing. Just understand the quality of what you're buying and know, at some point you may evolve into a higher level product later. But it shouldn't stop you from starting now. I know some college kids, their hurricane kit is the stupid gray Walmart Tupperware. You know which one I'm talking about? The big 20-gallon one?
Yeah.
That you put your Christmas ornaments in?
Mm-hmm.
And they made a whole little prepper box out of that. These 2 kids, I'm like, you know what? You 2 can pick that up, bring it to your car, throw it in the trunk and drive away. And you have a bug out Tupperware. But, you did something. That's okay. Understand what your area is, and it's going to really guide what you should be doing. And then you could start to budget and say, okay, I'm going to lose power. I want to get a Jackery or an EcoFlow, but that's $500. So how do I save that money, or how do I spread out the payments so it doesn't hurt my ability to, like, pay my rent or your mortgage?
Yep.
You could use it. And speaking to the solar, I don't like to call them solar generators because it's not what they do. The sun is the generator.
Correct.
Solar collection and storage devices.
We call them power banks, solar power banks.
Call them jackers. You can use these now. You get a good one.
yeah.
And you can use that now. Like that, you got a heavy draw device in your house. You want to hook up an air conditioner. Use it only when you're home. Then charge the thing up while you're at work. Put the panel on the roof. Like do it. These things are very useful. They harvest free energy from the sun.
100%.
Yeah.
Your imagination is the limit of what you can do with something like this. So you can start to apply the principles discussed here to your life today, even though there is there's so many crises. But there isn't a big one yet. The S has not hit the F just yet. Close. The shitting a little too close to the fan these days. It's going to hit it. We should either move the fan or stop shitting on it. I don't know.
Unplug the fan and plug something else in.
Whatever side of the aisle I need to reach out to make that compromise work.
And
but
you bring up a really good point.
You can apply this stuff to your life today, now,
Mm-hmm.
without having to be in a bunker with bombs going off and fucking tornado sirens going on.
Yeah, and you're gonna know the ins and outs of it too, right?
That little jackery, I have this big one which is meant for the house. The little one, I just plug it in every month, make sure it's charged. You guys know I'm on the road constantly. I'm doing events, clay shoots, and charity. I bring those with me all the time. I set them up behind our tent. There's no SHTF. We're having a charity event. We're like giving out tacos or giving away keychains or whatever. And I've got that to power their stupid speakers so we could play music while we're there, commiserating with the community. And by the way, that's another one. And I know all of you guys would relate. Know your community. Know the people around you.
Yeah.
Have you made friends with your volunteer firefighters? Do you know who in your neighborhood might be a nurse or a doctor? Who's the mechanic? You got a drone pilot nearby in case, there's some kind of flood. You want to see what's happening on the other side of town safely. Understand not just your risk, but your resources.
That's huge.
And you can do that for free.
Because, honestly, your people are one of your greatest resources, and the knowledge that they bring to your preparedness community.
And when they die, you can eat them.
As a Livingston man said, when the food runs out, we still have each other.
Yes, we do.
So to your point, Livingston man, I've been using my Opus Exodus 1200 and the 240 watt panel on the job site to recharge all the cordless tools. I'm not running compressors. I'm running DeWalt battery operated tools solely. So everything, the entire build is powered by Opus and the sun, which has been pretty cool. And every day,
because like those Milwaukee guys, they like too much. Like y'all like queens, man. Like just chill with the drag queen.
Every day when I leave the site, I still have juice in the Exodus, and I'm simultaneously draining the Exodus to charge the batteries and recharging the Exodus at the exact same time with the solar panels. So I always leave with juice in the battery. And if there's any gap there at the end of the day, I take that sucker home, I plug it into the wall and let it rip, man. And then it's charged up and ready to go the next day. And with the amount of cycles that you can get out of those things, I haven't even scratched the surface of the use of this thing. Rob B, yes, I am, because I haven't been there full time. I've only been there touch and go. So I am still indeed building that.
I encounter the same conditions. Like I said, I work on a farm, and it's like, the fence board broke off, or there's this or there's that. It's over here, power anywhere, and cordless tools become almost essential. And with the ability to actually recharge them without wires and just with freedom, that's huge.
Oh yeah,
it is.
Yep, you just grab your little, cordless tools and head to the middle of the field.
We didn't have it like that.
We had to run 400 feet of extension cord.
Pull your fucking pants up. Touch your
my dad would have loved the power banks. The big ones.
Man.
Oh man, he would have been a pain in the ass, actually, knowing him. He'd be like, "Oh, let's take that and we'll go." No, we don't want to go to the charter boat with that thing, Dad. No. It's going to fall in the salt water. What do you do?
You could do stuff like that though, but you needed like so many different components. You need a deep cycle car battery or a marine battery, and you need an inverter and all these clamps and like this meth head looking.
It's been very simplified by companies like Opus and Jackery and all of the other
now
ones.
It's just a little black box of handle on it. Looks like a boom box.
Yeah,
got
things
power.
are fantastic. Well, we're well over our time limit here for tonight, but thank everybody for joining us this evening. We really appreciate you stopping by the Four Horsemen podcast. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, really, thank you, appreciate it. And thank all of you, Roaming Prepper, Vision Preparedness, the Livingston Man. Thank you all for joining us this evening on another edition of the Four Horsemen podcast. Livingston Man has his hands into everything here. We appreciate you being here. If you're hanging out, if you're having a good time, if you learned something, if you chimed in the chat, smash that like button.
Did we reach the goal?
Yeah, we did. We did the whole rapid fire question segment. We reached the goal, and thank y'all for helping us reach the goal this evening. YouTube pays us, but it's like pennies, right?
Pennies on pennies.
Pennies on the pennies. And all of the fan funding really helps everything keep going here at the channels. So on the next podcast, I would implore that you guys do the same thing, set a goal, and let's see if we can drive some funds to everybody's channel, and we'll do something cool for everybody during the stream. If we make the goal, we appreciate you being here.
We are panhandling. Hit the money button. We're fucking around.
Thank you for joining us on Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival in this edition of the Four Horsemen podcast. We out of here.
Apocalypse now, 4 horsemen riding dirty. Death on the left, keep the Glock sturdy. Famine in the kitchen, hunger like a beast. War paint ready, unleash the inner beast. Pestilence drop, spread fear in the streets. Disease hit the block, no doc can compete. Horseman information, skies turning black. Future looking bleak, no turning back. 4 horsemen riding on the edge of night. Chaos in the wake, no end in sight. 4 horsemen bringing dark to the light. Want to get ready for the fright. Death smirking, souls counting in the tally. Coffins on standby, final ride in the alley. War ain't a game, got the war drum stumping. Battalion on the move, always be something.